But I need you to know how hard it is and how lonely it is and how sad and broken you will feel for the next 18 years of your life. That is what you're signing up for, okay? Is it wonderful? Absolutely. Would I change anything? No, because I love my son and I can't even imagine a life without him, and now I love my daughter. But would I do it differently, and do I talk to them about doing it differently? Absolutely.
What is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with some stupidity. And on today's episode, we have a clip from this woman right here who, as you just saw in the intro, is having a complete mental breakdown. She's having a meltdown. She's losing her marbles because she's now a single mother. It doesn't seem like her family is going to support her. I don't know why you would try and have a kid to make your family support you. That seems really stupid. And then also, she's mad because men won't stick around, right? She couldn't secure the father of the kids. Let's jump in. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments.
I'm completely breaking down over life, and I just need to make a PSA to like my younger self and any young girl out there who's watching right now.
Okay, so first of all, none of the young women who are watching videos like this, they're never going to listen. Do you think, guys, if we went back in time and we told this woman what she's going to tell herself now, that she would listen? That, hey, you need to keep the father in the picture, or hey, it's not a good idea to just have kids in order to try and repair your relationship with your family? They're not going to listen, guys. These women don't listen until reality kicks them in the backside. And even then, to be honest, they go out there and they do the same stupid stuff over and over again. The women don't listen, man. Men have been saying this for a long time. You know, be very deliberate with the man that you choose to have kids with. Probably not a good idea to sleep around and hook up with a bunch of different random men. But hey, guys, apparently we're just, you know, it's mahogany, okay? You don't like women.
To like my younger self and any young girl out there who's watching right now. If your family is not supportive, having a kid will not make them more supportive. And if you're not...
I don't know where she got this idea from, that this would even happen in the first place, guys. Like, I don't understand this. Who goes around and tells women that their families are going to support them if they decide to just randomly have a child? And you see, this is what I'm talking about, man, where you have a bunch of women who, I swear they don't even view their children as their children. They more so just view the child as some sort of an asset, right? Like, oh, if I have a kid, then this person over here is going to pay me money, or my parents are now going to pitch in for my life and things like this. They're not actually trying to have a family. They don't want the responsibility that actually comes with having a family. They just want the gifts that come with having the kid. And these people are so silly, man, because again, having a child has to be probably the largest responsibility I would imagine you can adopt in your life, maybe, unless you're like, you know, a very active firefighter or something, and there's just issue, you know, like you have someone's full life in your hands, man. Very few people actually have this, you know. I mean, there's lots of dangerous professions and stuff like this, guys, but let's not downplay it, okay? Being a mother, being a father, this is a job that comes with a lot of responsibility.
It will not make them more supportive. And if you're not supported by your family, you better be with the man of whatever child you want to bring into this world. And be with him for a while and know that he's going to stick around. And who really knows who's going to stick around or not, but definitely not after a couple months or even a year or two. Like,
okay, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot of stupidity going on. So first of all, it is actually not that difficult to tell if a man is going to stick around. You know, a lot of these women, they'll get into like situationships, or they'll get with men who clearly are not, you know, not going to stick around, and then they're like, wow, I got totally blindsided. This man he just up and left me. I can't believe it. Or what do you mean I've been sleeping with this man for 3 months and he doesn't want a relationship with me? It's actually really not that hard to choose a good man. In fact, point in case, guys, I bring this up every time women say this crap, is like, imagine if you're a man right now watching this, which you probably are, and you're a father. So for those of you who don't have a child, just imagine for a moment that you're a father. You have a daughter. your ability to choose a good man for your daughter is probably second to none, right? If you were to go out there and you choose a man for her, you could be damn sure that you as a father, and most fathers, would be able to pick a good one, okay? But modern women, guys, when they go out there and they choose their significant other or partner, whatever the hell you want to call it, I don't like the word partner. I've been watching too many of these videos, man. These women just call their men partners. It's ridiculous. You know, when the women go out there and select them, they're really bad at it. They are really, women can go like 0 for 30, you know, pick 30 men and not a single man was a good choice. Or also, not a single man wants to be with them whatsoever.
Whatever child you want to bring into this world, and be with him for a while and know that he's going to stick around. And who really knows who's going to stick around or not, but definitely not after a couple months or even a year or two. Like, you need to be married to this guy.
Oh, wow. What? Wait a minute. Let's back it up. So, men, you know, are you telling me that the ideal circumstance to have a child is under marriage? Well, that is a crazy concept. Now, let's take it a step further here. Let's think for a moment. There's not a lot of men who want to marry women these days. Okay, and so I think modern women, guys, they're really running into this conundrum because they do this and then they're like, wait a minute, I actually need some serious levels of commitment from a man in order to become a mother. And all the men are going, obviously, you know, the men are saying obviously from over their shoulders as they've already walked like 3 kilometers away or 3 miles away, whatever. You know, the guys are like, yeah, you probably did need that as they're completely leaving the country, you know? Like, yes, obviously it's going to contribute to the stability of your family or lack thereof if you had a guy to marry before you decided to have a kid to some random. But hey.
Definitely not after a couple months or even a year or two. Like, you need to be married to this guy. Because I know you think they're all gonna stay, like, it's gonna be different, he loves me. No, look at the statistics, girl. So many moms my age with kids of broken homes thought the same thing, and guess what? It didn't happen. The guy didn't stay.
Okay, so I think that it's really good that this woman actually brings up statistics here. Now, I'm not one of these people that just has like 50 studies sitting on the side. Okay, I just respond to the video and say what I think. But as far as I understand it, yeah, let's talk about some statistics, okay? So in committed relationships, such as marriages, for example, I believe the divorce rate is a little over 50%. Correct me if I'm wrong. Women are the ones who choose to leave 70 to 80% of the time. It actually goes up to 90%, 80 to 90%, if she is college educated, right? Men are not the ones who are out here just leaving these relationships or leaving these marriages, man. It's the women. And you know why the women leave, by the way? It's because they always think that there's a better man just around the corner. You know, women get so much validation and attention from men on the internet, guys. It is not even funny. You look at the average woman's DMs, she's got dudes in her DMs. I guarantee you. They're always talking to somebody, okay? And so what happens is they get into relationships and they're like, you know what? This guy's a good man, but I could probably do better. Or hell, a lot of women, they just keep chasing bad boys, failing to secure relationships from them straight up because they think, oh, well, even if I do this until I'm 30, there's still going to be some simp that's going to come along and have a relationship with me. It's completely stupid. And this woman's like, oh yeah, these men just up and leave. You know what? I think that there are men out there who will just abandon families and things like this. I'm not saying that there aren't men who won't do this. But number one, the majority of men are not like this. If they have a child, they want to look after the kid. They want to be fathers and things like this. A lot of dudes are not deadbeat dads, as much as these women say. What I would really like to highlight is just women's inability to actually take responsibility for, number one, the men that they choose, and number two, the men that they have kids with. It's ridiculous. Choose better, madam. Choose better. If the men are so awful, if they're just leaving you, very simple solution. Just choose better men. But they won't do that because, again, the average man, she thinks that she's above him. She doesn't want some average Joe Schmo, you know?
The statistics, girl. So many moms my age with kids of broken homes thought the same thing, and guess what? It didn't happen. The guy didn't stay. So do yourself and your future children a favor and just wait for the man who will stay. Because having a baby will never make a man stay if he doesn't want to.
Wait. So am I understanding this correctly? Okay, I'm a little bit tired as I'm watching this video. Right? So did this woman try and baby trap this guy? Is that the sense that I'm getting here? She tries to have a child with a man to make him stay. Right? You see what I'm saying, guys? Now we're introducing some questionable elements here, you know, because it sounds to me like perhaps the man didn't want to actually have a child with you. Perhaps he actually wasn't ready, and you tried to baby trap the guy. This is, you know, guys, things are starting to get a little bit fishy for me here. And just by the way, notice how she interjects in the middle of here and she says, just wait for the guy who will stay. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this wasn't an option. I'm confused because don't all men just leave women? I'm confused about, you know, you mentioned the statistics here. Apparently men are ditching women left, right, and center. But you're telling me there's an alternative, and the alternative is to just wait for the guy who will stay with you? You know, because if you listen to the first part of this woman's video, apparently men won't stay with you. So I'm very confused here. Are you suggesting that there are actually stable men who would choose to have a child with you? The answer to this, obviously, guys, is yes. Even this individual here, a man would happily, there'd be some dude out there who would have a kid with this woman. But she doesn't want the guys who are available, who would actually give her a family and care about her and these sorts of things. That's why I don't have sympathy for these women, man, is because they just do it to themselves. They could have a good man who cares about them, but then they try and have a child with Chad to try and lock him down, and they fail, and I'm supposed to care. Absolutely not.
It didn't happen. The guy didn't stay. So do yourself and your future children a favor and just wait for the man who will stay. Because having a baby will never make a man stay if he doesn't want to. Never. It does not work, I promise you. But if you're like, fine, I don't need the man, I'll keep the baby instead, which is what I did. Yeah, you can do that, and you'll probably succeed. Like I'm a good mom, I know I am, but
let me just breathe in, Taylor. It's fine. It's totally fine. So let me just stop you there. These mothers who do this, you are not a good mother. Like, let me just say this right away, right? If you cannot secure a father for your child, immediately right off the bat, you are quantifiably reducing the child's success rate at life. Right? And I don't say that to disparage people. There's probably people who are watching this right now who have grown up in broken families and stuff like that. I'm not saying this to make fun of those situations. It probably makes the child's life a lot harder than it has to be. You know? Like these people who grow up in broken families, they are at a disadvantage. Let's not beat around the bush here, man. Okay? If you are being raised by a single mother, this is probably going to have a negative impact on you. Right? There are dudes out there, man. Men are more likely to go to prison, more likely to commit violent crimes and so on. They're just more likely to end up in situations that they shouldn't be. And also daughters, more likely to end up on the pole, doing night work and these sorts of things, man. Being a single mother, straight up, is objectively not good for the child. So you don't get to sit here and go, well, I'm a good mother, I know I am. No, because here's the thing. Step one would be ensuring that your child has a father in the picture. You see what I'm saying? You might think, I'm strong and independent, I can do it all myself. I mean, that's nice. But, you know, kids are going to turn out way better, statistically speaking, if they have a father in the picture. And just by the way, when it's actually the reverse of this, as far as I understand, if a child is raised by a single father, ironically enough, the child actually turns out way better on paper than being raised by the single mother. And I think part of the reason for this, guys, is because women are not very good at being a nurturer and also a disciplinarian at the same time. It's very difficult for them to separate these two things, which makes sense because they gave birth to the child. They have such a connection to the child, it's going to be hard to discipline it. That's why it's important to have the man there. You know, he's got to enforce the practical steps, ensure that the kid gets back on the bike because the kid has to learn, type of thing. You know, being a single mother, not a good idea. Not a good idea for you, not a good idea for the child.
I am struggling right now, and I've struggled my whole life. I shouldn't say my whole life, but I became a mom at 18, so
Oh my goodness.
it's felt like my whole life, right? My
Oh my
whole
goodness.
adult life. All of my responsibilities have been me plus one. And what I guess is really hard about that right now is realizing that I'm 33 and I'm single by choice because I honestly don't trust guys to love my kids the way that they should, because I've been in a few relationships, and when they go south, the guys just treat my kids like garbage, and I can't risk that anymore. I can't risk my kids being treated like garbage anymore just to pursue love for myself.
Yeah, see, this is the thing, man. If you have children, right, and this woman says she's single by choice, which I find that to be rather funny. If you have kids and you're out there dating, a lot of guys are not going to want to take a single mother seriously. And nor do I think they should, by the way. It's not men's responsibility to go out there and take care of a kid or kids that are not his own. In fact, a woman who has kids, right, and the father is no longer around, unless she's a widow, this is a huge red flag, guys. This is absolutely like, do not pass go, do not collect $200, do not have a relationship with this woman. Like, men who have self-respect will not go here, man. And I encourage men to have more self-respect. So a lot of guys will either A, not want a relationship with you, or B, even if they do want a relationship with you, here's the thing. I agree with this woman. It is not safe to have random dudes around your kids. It absolutely isn't. And the guys who are safe, who go, you know what, I'm going to step up and take on the responsibility, which they shouldn't. But the guys who do this, oftentimes the men who are really about it will be treated like crap. They are given no authority, but all of the responsibility of being the father of that kid, right? They'll get attached to it. Eventually, when the relationship ends, it's going to be very damaging for that man because he's attached to the child, and so on and so forth. This is a complete scam for men. And this is why it should never be done in the first place. To top it all off, this woman did this at 18, guys. At 18. What in the hell, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about not good for the child, okay? You're 18 doing this by yourself. No guidance from a man, no father figure in the picture. I mean, craziness. And now she's 33.
I can't risk my kids being treated like garbage anymore just to pursue love for myself. And that really sucks because I want love and I want a teammate really bad.
No. Let's not do this. Guys, please understand that when women make videos like this, they're not necessarily out here looking for love, okay? I think teammate is perhaps more closer to what she's looking for. She's really looking for a guy who's going to help pay her bills and help look after a kid that is not his own. That's really what it boils down to, guys. She needs somebody who's going to help her. That's what she needs. She needs a man who's going to come in, add some income, pay her bills, help look after the child, and so on and so forth. And just by the way, the men who do opt to do this, they get far and away treated the worst. I just want to highlight that.
I'm a really good friend, and I'm a really good mom, and I'm a really good teammate, and I'm a really good lover. It's just none of those things seem to work together. Because guys, if they want to get to know you and date you, they want time, right? Well, guess what kids want? Also time. And it is so hard to find a good guy who knows that, who knows that moms need to spend time with their kids and they need to make their kids a priority, and he's willing to take the back seat for a while. But
yeah, so just by the way, if you're a dude and you're out there and you're trying to have a relationship with a single mother, you're going to be backseat permanently, right? This is not some trend where like, oh, just a few weeks, I just need to give attention to my child and no, you are permanently backseat, my friend. Like, you are lower on the totem pole than you might think, right? It's not, there used to be a time, okay, when dudes would run the household, okay? They would go out there, they'd work hard, they would pay the bills, and they would be the head of the household, right? They would organize the priorities. These days, guys, women are strong and independent. They can go out there, they can work, they can do whatever it is that they want to do. And look where a lot of women end up. They have no order in their households. They need somebody to step in, but they want to give no authority to the man, but all of the responsibility when he joins her quote unquote team. Interesting.
But then when you're married, you're supposed to put your husband first. It's just like this crazy mind thing. And I feel trapped. And I've also had guys who are amazing, we're amazing together, and they'll seriously tell me, like, we would be perfect if you didn't have a kid.
Yep. And there it is. Right? There it is. This is the situation that you arrive at if you are a single mother. You know, and dudes, mind you guys, I just want to highlight here, by the way, men also experience pretty much this throughout their entire lives too, right? You know, it's like, oh, well, he would make a great relationship prospect, but he doesn't really earn enough money. You know, oh, he would be attractive, but he's just not tall enough. You know, he would be here, but there's this guy over there who has a better car. And like, men get rejected all the damn time, man. Since you're a young kid as a man, right? You go out there, you're 18 years of age, you don't have a car, you're going to lose to the 22-year-olds that do have a car, right? You're like 30 years old, you're making 50K a year, you're going to lose to the 35-year-olds making 150K. You see what I'm saying? And women will actively trade you up if they can, or if they think that they can. Right? I see this all the time, man. It's called monkey branching, if you don't know, by the way, where a woman will be in a relationship with one man, and then she'll try and connect the next relationship before she leaves her current one. Oftentimes women fail at doing this, by the way, which is very damn funny to me. But this woman has been told, hey, listen, you have a kid, so it's a break for me, unfortunately. Yeah, men are used to hearing crap like this all the time, by the way, particularly for things that men can't control too. Or we're told we're the complete opposite. Men go out here, they're really nice, right? A dude will be really nice to women, but then the woman will say, you know, I like really nice men, and you'll find your woman, but it's just not me, you know?
Because I can't bring you home like that, or I want to have my own family, and I don't want to raise someone else's kid.
Ooh.
And I really can't blame them for feeling that way. I can't.
Okay, good.
But then I look around at all of my friends who did the right thing and waited and got married and had kids with their spouse or whatever. And they are able to build such beautiful lives for themselves. They support each other and have careers and get houses and all the things. And I would kill for some support like that.
Just by the way, I think a lot of these women who built stuff, a lot of the times the men are the ones doing the building and the providing, just by the way, or at least predominantly most of it. So let's get this straight. Her friends are out here, they did the right thing, okay? They went out there, they got married, right? Which again, guys, I don't encourage marriage. I really think the idea of marriage is great. I do. I think it solidifies relationships and families and stuff like this. The problem is, in modern day current society, it's a complete scam for men. It represents nothing but risk. The men benefit absolutely nothing from it whatsoever. Your families are probably going to end up broken anyway. You know, it's a complete scam for dudes. But on paper, you know, previously, great, sure. So these women, they went out there, they got married, they had their kids, everything is going smoothly. And she sees this, right? She sees her friends who have the house, okay? They have the dog, they have the white picket fence. They did things correctly. Meanwhile, she chose to become a single mother to try and lock a man down. Guys, like I've said this on the channel many times, I think women would benefit from listening to these videos, honestly. If you cannot straight up secure commitment from a man, having a child is not going to change that. It absolutely won't, guys. If you cannot secure commitment from a man up front, he is out of your range, my friend. He is absolutely out of your range. But women just think that they can manipulate dudes into relationships. Let's just say you can do this, okay? And you manipulate a man successfully into a relationship for 1 month, right? The dude's not going to stay because he never wanted to be there in the first place.
Okay, maybe not kill, but I would really, really love some support.
Of course you would.
Even someone to just talk to and bounce ideas off of or vent to at the end of the day.
Yeah, so she wants a shoulder to cry on, some emotional support, and some finances.
Because I don't even let myself feel this very often because why? I have nobody to talk to. I can't tell my kids this. I can't vent to my kids. That's not their place. Their job is not to worry about mommy or talk about our future. Their job is to be a child.
True.
And I just know how I felt when I was pregnant with my son. And I thought I was gonna get this family and all of this support and all of this everything. And I'm just telling you, the statistics show that my experience is like most.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, obviously. Guys, really notice the framing, okay, of why she chose to have this kid. She chose to have this kid because she wanted to receive support. You know, I thought if I had the kid, then I would have the support. No, it's actually the opposite way around. You go out there, you get a good man, right? Ideally, you get married if the man is stupid enough to do that. You know, you get the support first, and then you have the child, and the child grows up in a supportive environment. You see what I'm saying? Right? You are supposed to, and this woman realizes this now, too late, that you're supposed to lock down a good man, get into a long-term relationship, have marriage if it's on the table for the man, and then have a kid. Okay, but people, man, they want to do it completely backwards, and then they cry, and they're like, oh, I didn't realize it worked this way. Yeah, this is what all of the terrible men have been telling you this entire time, by the way, guys. Women will never listen to my videos, man. There might be like 3.5 women who watch this channel. I've actually seen a few comments from some of the women who watch this channel, and usually they're women who have been married for a very long period of time. Okay, like, Taylor, I watch your videos, I love your videos, I've been married for 20 years, and I'm like, that's great. You know, happy for that woman. These women, man, they get on here and they try and do things completely backwards, and it's just a train wreck, man. But of course, they'll never watch videos like this, right? Because we over here, apparently we don't like women. If I go out here and I tell women the correct way to do things, apparently that means I don't like them and I'm being oppressive. You know, probably not a good idea to go out here and be hitting up clubs if you want to find your Prince Charming. In fact, this is going to repulse your Prince Charming. And yet they still do it, and, you know, call men like us, they're like, oh, he doesn't like women, he wants to control them. And it's like, no, men just don't want a club girl. You know what I mean? Really simple, and they just cannot see it.
Most people don't end up happily ever after with their baby daddies. It just doesn't happen like that. And this experience isn't just hurting me, it's hurting my kids, and I just don't want any more moms and kids to be hurt out there by choices that you make in the heat of the moment. So ladies, wait. Young ladies, wait. Young men, wait. Do not put yourself in a position where you can have a broken home in the future, because I guarantee you will have moments feeling like this.
You know what? I actually agree with this woman. I'll make a slight caveat here, but I think this is some really great advice. You know, it's funny, guys, how women, when they get their ass brutally kicked by reality, then they start spitting out some things that make sense. You know, and the thing is, guys, is men will spit out sense pretty early on, and the reason why is because men are faced with reality early on. This woman's only faced with reality, man, after she goes out there and has the responsibility of having a child, and now she's 33. You know what I'm saying? But I actually think this is pretty solid advice. Now, as far as the women waiting thing, I just want to say this, by the way. Women don't really have to wait. They have options all of the damn time, especially when they're young as well. Women's power in dating always comes from choosing, right? Choosing the correct man. But women just fail so bad at this, man. They have such an incredible amount of options. If you're a woman, I've said this before, right? If you're a woman and you're in a metropolitan city, okay, maybe you're somewhere in America, okay, you're near one of the big cities over there. The amount of options that women have is straight up disgusting, guys. Like, men can't even fathom it. Dudes who are celebrities oftentimes don't even have the same level of options as women do. Okay, and yet they still screw it up. Because what they're doing is they're completely choosing the wrong men, right? And they're just making stupid decisions. They absolutely are men. And even if this is the right guy, okay, by the way, let's just say this guy is great, he was going to stick around and everything. Trying to lock down a man who's like, I don't know, I'm going to assume 20 or something with a child, not a good move, man. A lot of dudes are not prepared to look after a family when they're 20 years of age. And I don't mean, yes, a lot of them are perhaps, they would rather spend their time street racing or something in their in one of their first cars. Okay, probably not the wisest decision. But also, men oftentimes take on the burden of looking after the family, at least financially. And a lot of guys are really not there yet when they're 20. Like before dudes become quote unquote economically attractive to women, it usually takes dudes a long time to get there. You know what I'm saying? So trying to lock down some like 20-year-old Chad by having a kid with him, really bad move, because even if he did stay, it would probably be quite a rough environment for the kid,
But it's worse for young women because in our culture and our society, all of that burden lays on a woman, and you have to care for your child. And I know that you think you can do it, and you can. But I need you to know how hard it is, and how lonely it is, and how sad and broken you will feel for the next 18 years of your life. That is what you're signing up for, okay? Is it wonderful? Absolutely. Would I change anything? No, because I love my son, and I can't even imagine a life without him, and now I love my daughter. But would I do it differently, and do I talk to them about doing it differently? Absolutely.
Wait, so did we go out here and have a second child as well? Right? How did this come about? Is this guy still here? Oh my goodness. Did she do it a second time? Maybe I missed that, guys. Like, I don't know. I can't be bothered rewinding the video. I'm losing my marbles here, all right? But did this woman just say that she had a daughter as well? So she had a son to a dude when she was 18, and then a daughter at an unspecified time afterwards. So now she's screwed up twice and she's making this video.
Because it's not fair to them, and it's not fair to me. It's not fair to anyone in the situation that I made a choice in one moment that changed everyone's lives for, not good. I'm doing the best I can, but I live in a 900 square foot apartment and have 2 kids, and I'm in my master's program, but I literally feel like I can't get ahead because there's just not enough to go around.
Yeah, so what's this woman's strategy, by the way, career-wise? So what she's doing is she's trying to look after 2 kids, and she's studying. It's like, man, let's be honest. Also, a lot of these degrees are completely useless. If this woman's out here and she's studying to become a doctor or something like that, fantastic. But a lot of these women, they go out there and they think that they're going to get that dream career, and they're studying like, something to do with the gender at college or university or whatever you call it where you are. It's a complete waste. A lot of these schooling programs are a complete waste of time. And the reason why women do this is because they're trying to secure additional government benefits for studying. Meanwhile, what's she actually doing? She is actually accruing a bucket load of debt that any future dude is now also going to be responsible for.
And I just want you to love yourself a little bit more before you make decisions, okay? Just try loving yourself, your future self, your current self, your future children. Just love everyone more when you make your decisions, okay?
I don't think that's it, man. Just make better decisions. The decisions don't have to come from a place of love, to be honest. Just use your brain. Don't use your emotions to make decisions, right? Use logic to make decisions. It's going to work out way better. And I'm not saying that everyone's perfect, guys, and you have to make logical decisions all the time. We as dudes, we might spend some finances buying a cool car. Was it the best logical decision? Maybe not, but, guys, like, when it comes to having children, you need to be making a logical decision about this, okay? Is this the right man to have a child with? Is this the right time to have a child? Is the man at the correct place in his life to have a child as well? Are you going to be able to get him to stick around? Is he keen on sticking around? And so on. And so they don't answer these questions, man. They're just like, oh, if I have a kid, I can keep the dude around. Very bad idea. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. That was a crazy one. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.